With EX3 that just dropped, there is no better way to start off with our very first deck profile with no other than the evil virus version of Imperial Dramon. Just before we get started with the video, I got something really cool to share with all you guys. If you haven't watched our newest Battle of series, then be sure to check that out as well. In our latest Battle of Cross Encounter episode, we spiced things up, where Sam and I actually partnered with each other for a tag team battle against our friends this time. This gave us a chance to showcase you guys a larger variety of decks in action, so be sure to check it out after this video too. Links will be included on the top right iCard and in the description box down below, so I'll see you guys there. Hello Digimon players and fans, welcome back to another Digimon deck profile and in-depth building guide video. For those who've been following me on my channel for a while, Imperial is one of my main go-to decks when I play the Digimon card game. I really like the style, the Digimon's like fantastic, and the artworks are always very nice. It goes without saying, I'm super excited to be making this video, covering the evil purple and red version of the deck, which debuted in this Dragonic Roar EX03 set. The Imperial Dramon line received brand new cards for the entire Digivolution, and it focuses heavily on Digivolving directly from trash, and then DNA Digivolving towards the top end. The playstyle of its aggression is very similar compared to the original blue and green version of the deck, however, there's a lot of different things and different combos this time. The main difference being is that it can climb up from either your Flame Dramon or Shade Dramon all the way up to your Imperial Dramon Fighter mode in one single turn for its full-blown combo, which is absolutely insane. It clears boards, takes down your opponent Digimon, and pierces into their security all in one big turn. The even more crazy thing is that it stops all security effects, including options, Digimon security effects, and tamers as well, which is one of the very first. Like always, I got a combo guide right after the deck profile as well to show you guys and teach you how to play the deck, so definitely stick around. You simply repeat the process again and again to win your games. So let's go ahead and show you guys what we got for the build. Okay, starting off with the Digi-Egg cards, we got 4 copies of the Demi-Meramon from BT3, still one of the best purple eggs in my opinion overall, because on deletion you get to trigger, draw 1, and trash 1. Just 4 eggs is really all you need just to keep up with consistency, and you do really want to be drawing your pieces, trashing the stuff you want to have in your trash to set up for your combos later on as well. Okay, so now let's talk about our rookies. We first and foremost definitely have the brand new Veemon in red right here, and we got 4 copies of this guy. What this guy does is on play you can trash 1 card with Imperial Dramon in its name or free in its traits for you to draw 2 cards. Very typical, very great for the built-in archetype overall. Trashing once again, finding your pieces, and giving Inheritable extra 2k during your turn is the reason why, again, you always want to be hard playing this guy, on play it so then you can cycle cards. Next, another fantastic new rookie where we have Wormmon, which is basically Veemon's partner right here, and in purple as well. Also has an on-play effect to help you cycle and search, revealing the top 3, allowing you to add a purple or red card that has free in its traits, or 1 card with Imperial Dramon in its name among your hand, and then otherwise you get to trash 1 of the other cards that was revealed as long as it met the requirements as such. So keep in mind there is a quick errata on this card as well. Be sure to check on the errata page just to make sure you're resolving the correct effect. What that basically means is that if you revealed another valid target, the other valid target can be trashed, and then the third card will be placed at the bottom of your deck. Also giving you all turns retaliation as long as you have a red Digimon in play. We play both red and purple in this deck anyway, so very, very consistent when it comes to that as well. Then, for more rookies, we actually play the Starter Deck 6 Gabumon. This is actually a really, really nice card because when attacking, you get to draw 1 and trash 1, triggering it. Similar to Demi-Meramon, but this one's a little bit more nicer because you can keep the effect ongoing turn after turn again, so you're always getting value in the long run, which is really, really nice as another rookie. And then to finalize for the final rookie, we do just play 1 Gazi just to stop any like memory block, memory gain effects and such. And yeah, that's really it, and that will wrap up for the rookies. Are you guys Imperial fans as well? Did you know that we got even more Imperial support in the future for the Digimon card game? If you guys want to see more Imperial Dramon deck profiles and content, then be sure to hit that subscribe button right now to stay tuned. And turn that notification bell on as well so you guys, as soon as those videos come live. As always, definitely give this video a like because it just really helps with the channel and I greatly appreciate the support. Moving into our level 4s, we got the red Flame Dramon and as well as the 4 copies of Shaydramon. The reason why I want to showcase both of these because they basically do exactly the same thing when Digivolve. They can both be Digivolved on top of a red or purple level 3, where again you're always going to be Digivolving it mostly on top of your Vmon, your Wormmon, so you can stack your inheritables. So when Digivolving, you get to activate one of the following effects below. The first one is that it allows you to Digivolve one of your other Digimon into a level 4 from your trash by paying its memory cost. Now for Flame Dramon, in this case, that lets you Digivolve a purple Digimon into a level 4, and then for Shaydramon, it lets you Digivolve one of your other red Digimon into the level 4. Of course, you still have to be meeting the normal Digivolution requirements of having a level 3 on the board in order to do that. And then both their secondary effects lets you DNA Digivolve into a Digimon from your hand. And yeah, that's really what they do, and they both provide you end of turn DNA as well. And in the combos later, where I'll showcase you guys will understand why DNAing is really a hard focus of the combo of this deck, because you can really easily grow from your level 4s all the way to your 5 into your 6s instantly in the same turn, with all the effects climbing on top of each other, which is going to be really important and really helpful. Then, to finalize for the level 4s, we do play the 4 copies of Eismon Scatter Mode. Eismon Scatter Mode is just a perfect package in this deck because early game you can Digivolve into this and then on deletion swing aggressively, and if it gets deleted you get to draw 3 and trash 2, setting up your trash once again, finding the pieces you need, just cycling super quickly. And yeah, you really need to set up your trash for this deck because it's purple. Okay, now let's talk about our level 5s. Very simple. 4 copies of the brand new Pale Dramon, and another 4 copies of the brand new Dino Beamon. Now, they both basically require the same to DNA Digivolve. You need a red and a purple to DNA, whereas Dino Beamon is a purple and red. Same thing, really. You just want to make sure you have both those valid requirements to do it. Now, for Pale Dramon, when it's DNA Digivolved, you get to bring a Dino Beamon back from trash. Vice versa with Dino Beamon, if you bring out Dino Beamon, when DNA Digivolving, you get to bring a Pale Dramon back from your trash as well. Now, Pale Dramon on deletion lets you play a Vmon from your trash without paying its memory cost, and Dino Beamon lets you play Wormmon on deletion. So they have very similar effects. They're just basically here to support each other, vice versa, and so on. Now, being able to bring them out, each other out, is just super good because it allows you to DNA as well once again very quickly to get into your level 6s. Now, Pale Dramon gives you security +1 during your turn as long as that Digimon has Imperial Dramon in its name, and then Dino Beamon lets you attack unsuspended Digimon as long as it has Imperial Dramon in its name during your turn as well. Both these inheritables are just absolutely fantastic when you stack them together in order to DNA into your level 6s, which we're just going to jump straight into right here, where we got the 4 copies of the evil virus version Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode. Now, this one's very special and unique because this is the level 6 Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode that requires you to DNA Digivolve. You place the purple on top and then the red at the bottom. Now, when you do DNA Digivolve, it gets blitzed and your opponent chooses one of their Digimon. When they choose that Digimon, all the other Digimon that they have on their board is deleted, except for the one that's chosen, so they have to make a choice right there, which is very good at popping wide boards and just clearing stuff. Like I mentioned, it's got Blitz so it can attack, and which combinates with its second effect, because when attacking, once per turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP for the turn, and then you may Digivolve it into Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode from your hand by paying its Digivolution cost. And once again, it's going to go into a huge stack combo with a lot of really cool stuff. And yeah, you definitely want to play 4 of this guy. You always want to be seeing it in your hand and as soon as you can do your DNA for sure. And like I mentioned, because of its secondary effect, you of course play the 3 copies of the Fighter Mode right here. Just so you guys know, the middle one is the Altart. Now, what this guy does is normally it Digivolves on top of level 5 by paying 5 costs on top of a purple or red. But again, you always want to be using Dragon Mode's effect to Digivolve it effectively for 2. First and foremost, it has Piercing. Now, when digivolving, you may return one of your Imperial Dramon Dragon modes from this sources to the bottom of the owner's deck, and now what it does, it prevents all security effects from activating for the turn, which is really, really good. And basically, it's a built-in ADP against your opponent, which is even better than ADP because it also stops Digimon security effects as well. Not only that, it also stops any Tamer security effects as well, which is really, really strong, super good card. And on deletion, it lets you play a Wormmon and Veemon from your trash for free back as well. So you can continue to cycle your combo once again with this card. And yeah, once again, we got combos to showcase you guys what you want to be doing when you play it all together. But yeah, super cool card. Really, really nice effects, and I just love it so much. And then just to round off for all of our Digimon, we do have the one Defexmon. Defexmon is just very suitable in this deck because we play purple as well. And yeah, you can either Digivolve this guy or Hard Slam this guy, usually depending on your matchup. And we all know how strong this card really is. And yeah, that's the reason why you include a one of, at least. So that's it for all of our Digimon. Now let's talk about our Tamers. First and foremost, we got 2 copies of Redtie right here. Once again, you guys know how I love security +1 for aggression, especially with this deck. You can have so much cool swings, no security effects allowed. So good with Ty, and not only that, he is your memory tamer. So sometimes I do want to include a 3 of this guy because you can continue to stack his security +1 effects over time as well. When you do get to do that, super cracked. But 2 is really, really good for standard bases at the moment. Next, we have 3 copies of Analog Youth. Analog Youth is just also really good to combine with this deck. As a 2 cost, it lets you search, get the Digimon card that you want, and then you trash the rest of the pieces. So you can set up for your trash. Not only that, if you ever do get deleted all turns, you can suspend him, you know, gain a memory, and hatch an egg as well. So you can continue with your combo plays again, is why he is really, really good. Now, that's it for all of our Tamers. Let's talk about our options. 3 copies of Mist Memory Boost. Once again, trashing, setting up your pieces, really good. Draw 1, delay, gain 2 memory. Very, very simple. Just one of the best options for this deck as well. So yeah, there's nothing too much I want to talk about this option here. And then last but not least, we have 1 Calling from the Darkness. Now, because we're in the restriction list already, this card is restricted to 1, but that's okay. 1 is always a very nice tech anyways. We don't need to play any more of it for this particular deck. You know, grabbing pieces back if you need. Yeah, just really, really good. If you ever do end up accidentally trashing like your fighter mode or your dragon mode, Calling from the Darkness is just really good in grabbing them back for you so you can continue to go into your big combos. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, now that we got the 50 card main deck completed, let's talk about some of the other option cards or different cards that you can consider when you're playing this deck. You definitely include a Psychmon if you guys want to, especially if you're, you know, facing against lots of Digicross type of decks. Psychmon definitely comes in handy 100% for sure. Very, very staple generally. Yeah, so there's not a lot of like spicy tech cards or other different cards I can really suggest because a lot of these suggestions are just going to be very like meta staples, sort of like meta relevant stuff for removal and just like very basic. So Gaia Force, you know, for removal, big N removal. Otherwise, I think Crimson Blaze is actually much more better meta call and more relevant for the current meta upcoming in EX3 anyways. And yeah, Crimson Blaze and both Gaia Force, you guys know how strong these cards really are, and yeah, they're just really, really good, especially like Crimson Blaze once again. And then for the purple stuff, there's actually like Glaive Memory Boost. And the reason why Glaive Memory Boost is actually pretty good because it has a very similar concept to Calling from the Darkness. You get to return one of your purple Digimon from your trash back to your hand, and then it just delays, gives you extra 2 memory. So something that you guys could consider. And then also another really cool one is actually Night Raid. Night Raid lets you play 1 purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost, and for the effectively of the cost of 2, you can actually do some really cool stuff with your like bringing back your Wormmon, and then you can then sort of like digivolve it into one of the level 4s, either Shadramon and Flamedramon. And if you have you know, enough pieces on the board, you can actually just go into your DNA combo and just, you know, rank up like that very, very quickly. However, keep in mind there is no on-play effects from this option card when you play it. So yeah, another just really cool suggestions. Alright, now that we've talked about all the other cards, let's showcase you guys the how to play strategy and combo guide of this deck. It's actually very simple and very straightforward. So of course you always want to be hatching your egg 100%. You know, in the early stages of the game, you want to be hard playing your Wormmons, you want to be hard playing your Veemons as much as you can to sort of cycle through cards, play your Analog Youth and Mist Memory Boost. These are the key cards you just really need to sort of see and play in the early stages. Now, what you're trying to do while you're doing that is, if you are building your stack, ideally you want to be digivolving into this Gabumon right here, and then you can be going into your Eismon scattered mode so that you can, you know, get ready to push up and start swinging aggressively. Now, meanwhile, what the trashing mechanic or sort of the trashing idea is, what you need to do is very, very important. You need to make sure that you trash a level 4 either Flame Dramon or Shade Dramon, and also make sure that you're trashing a Pale Dramon or Dino Beamon. But very important note, at the same time, you want to make sure you got one or the other in your hand. Very, very ideally, you want to be having, you know, the different ones. So if you have Shade Dramon in trash, you want to make sure you have Flame Dramon in your hand. Vice versa. If you have Pale Dramon in your hand, you want to make sure that you have Dino Beamon in your trash. Vice versa. This is the very key important part to set up for your later combo to go, make your one-shot big plays, basically. So, of course, you know, when you're ready to go, you pull up your Eismon Scattered mode, you're ready to swing in. So then, again, at the same time, you're just trying to, you know, set up your trash, set up your hand, draw cards, and do so, and whatever. So, you know, ideally, you want to have it deleted. If it doesn't get deleted, it's okay. You continue to pressure with it as long as you can. And this is now what the pieces you want to be seeing in your hand. Like I mentioned, a level 4, a level 5, and then the Impure Dramons as well. So this is why it's so important to be cycling. Now, as for memory, this is one of the really cool things with this deck. You actually don't really need a whole lot of memory. If you had a memory setter or whatnot, like a tie, you start at 3, which is really great. So then you give your opponent less memory, but really, you can pull this crazy combo off even with just one memory. So let's just show you guys how that's done. So we'll take away the tie, just showing you guys there just now. And what you really need to want to have is, you know, have a Veemon, a Wormmon just ready to go, or vice versa. It can even be like this, somewhere in the raising, you know, just a combination of both these two cards. So you're ready to go. So let's just say you're at 1, you push out the Wormmon right here. For easy understanding sake, I can Digivolve for 2 of my Veemon into a Flame Dramon. Now, really important, because Flame Dramon says it lets you Digivolve a purple, which is why it's very important that you actually do Digivolve the Flame Dramon on top of the Veemon and not on top of the Wormmon, because now you can Digivolve your Wormmon into Shade Dramon using Flame Dramon's effect. So you do have to pay 2, putting your opponent to 3. Now, Shade Dramon's Digivolved, you draw a card, and you get to use its when Digivolving effect. Instead of targeting one of your other red level 3 Digimon to go into a level 4, there's no need. You now want to use the second effect. When Digivolving, you can DNA. So because we have a Pale Dramon in hand, we're going to be DNA Flame Dramon on top of Shade Dramon for free because it's DNA. Draw for Digivolving. Now Pale Dramon's when Digivolving DNA comes out, which lets you play Dino Beamon for free. Now, you then activate your end of turn effect procedures. This is why the Flame Dramon and the Shade Dramon end of turn becomes really important, because now you can DNA at the end of the turn. So you're going to be DNAing into your Dragon Ball. So by stacking your Dino Beamon on top and Pale Dramon at the bottom, it doesn't really matter in particular order because they're both, you know, red and purple, so you can choose whichever. But let's just say, you know, for the easy sake, we'll just do it this way. You go into Dragon mode right here, and you can see a crazy amount of inheritables and stacks right here. Now, what you want to be doing next is, because it has Blitz, but before you Blitz, it has this when Digivolving, so you make your opponent choose one of their Digimon, and then the rest gets deleted. Now, for that one singular Digimon that's left on there, because with your Dino Beamon inheritable, you can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So you're going to be swinging into that opponent's Digimon, and when attacking, Dragon Mode is going to gain 2k, making it 14, and because you have a Veemon inheritable, it's going to be 16k. So now, if you do have the option to go into your fighter mode, that would be absolutely fantastic, because you can then pay the 2 memory, passing your opponent to 5. You're giving your opponent a lot of memory, but that's how you want to be playing this deck. You have to be generous with that, because if you're not, you can't get your combos off, and it's very important you get your combos off. So you pay the 2 memory to go into your fighter mode. Now you draw for Digivolving, you use this when Digivolving effect. Now you can return the Dragon mode to the bottom of the deck, and no security options is allowed. Now keep in mind, once again, you're still swinging at that exact same target that's unsuspended if possible, because with Dino Beamon, if it's suspended, then, you know, not an issue at all. But this is why it's super good, because now you would swing into that, And very likely, you know, your Imperial Dramon fighter mode is actually at 17k now with the extra 1000 DP right here. And you swing over that and you have piercing. And not only that, you're piercing with 2 checks, you know, with security +1 right here. And not only that, no security effects are allowed. No options, no tamers, no Digimon effects that come out from security. None of that allowed. You say no to all of it with this effect because you return the Dragon mode to the bottom of the deck. So you basically cleared your opponent's board very likely with this card and then just super crazily and just finish their Digimon, pierce. And right here you have a strong standing fighter mode with extra security +1, extra DP, and even has retaliation. And you know, the only thing that's sort of like prone to would be effect removal at this point. And like I mentioned earlier, if you had Tai here, then Tai would give that extra security +1. That would be essentially like 3 checks. And that's what you want to be doing. And you want to just pressure the board like this. And if your opponent ever deletes your fighter mode, you know, you can use Analog Youth to gain the memory back and it gets deleted and you get to play the Wormmon here. And then you get to play the Veemon as well from your trash back. And you want to continue cycling for the exact same pieces that you get to see. So you can rinse and repeat this combo again for later on and finish the game that way. So it's very, very simple. I really, really like how simple the idea of the combo of this deck does and how crazy it really is. And you guys can see how amazing it is. And it just really resonates quite nicely because it has a very similar concept to the blue and green Imperial deck. But it's just execution is very different and the outcome and the value you get from it is very different as well. And yeah, this is basically the simple, easy, one single linear combo you're just going to be repeating over and over again until you win. That will conclude for my very own deck building strategy and in-depth guide for the evil purple and red version of the Imperial Dramon deck in the AX03 format. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Overall, the all-new Virus Imperial Dramon deck is super cool. Artworks are fantastic, and the final all-out combo is absolutely crazy. Now I got a question for all of you. Which type of Imperial Dramon do you guys like more? This brand new purple and red version or the original blue and green? That'll wrap up for the video for today. I got tons of EX3 deck profiles and guides coming real soon. And if you guys are just as excited to see more decks coming, then be sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell right now. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video. This is Vault, signing out.